This is The Good Life. We invite you to join with us over the next few minutes and learn how you can become independently wealthy using a few well-tested, proven techniques, which will put you on the road to achieving your financial independence. It takes little or no money, requires no credit, and anyone can do it in their spare time. Just a few hours a month, that's all it takes. Stay tuned. Learn how to profit at U.S. government auctions of cars, boats, planes, jewelry, electronics, and other valuable personal property and real estate. And you can start right away.
Hi, I'm William McCorkle. I've already shown you how to become successful in making money using my system with bargain real estate. Today, I'm going to show you how to find bargains at government auctions. We're going to show you how to purchase beautiful cars, beautiful houses. We're going to show you how to make some fantastic deals. In the next few minutes, I'm going to take you into a live seminar conducted by one of the country's foremost experts on government auctions. His name is Steve Steiner. Steve is an authority and specializes in drug-related seizures, and you'll be amazed to hear about some of the stories, items that were picked up for pennies on the dollar. The major money-making topics he'll be covering include thousands of unadvertised government auctions held daily, insider secrets on how to be the winning bidder, and how to use my money to purchase these items. So let's join Steve now as he reveals the winning strategies on how to make money.
There are over 4,000 DEA and federal marshals and court-ordered sales every day in the United States, many right here in this area. Too many for you to attend, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Anyone can make money in government auctions, as you'll soon see. Whether you're 17 years old or 97 years old, you need no cash and no credit. You just have to know how to find these government auctions and how much to bid on the items. How do you find these auctions? They used to be in the newspaper, and there'd be large ads, government auctions, such and such, drug seizures. Nowadays, you don't see those ads like you used to. Why don't we see those ads? How many people think it's because illegal drug use has stopped? No. Okay. We don't see the ads because the United States Congress, through the Graham-Rudman-Hollings Deficit Reduction Act, cut the budget for government programs. One thing they cut was advertising because they didn't want to cut their own salaries and benefits. That's why. It's great for us because if they advertised these auctions, it would attract more people, the bidding becomes more competitive, and they get higher prices for the merchandise. The result of cutting down the advertising? Fewer people at the auction. Is that good for us? You bet it is. After all, if nobody knows about them except the people who learn about them from us, we have very little competition. We can bid very low, and we can pick up the merchandise we want at the right prices. This is one of the most worthwhile success strategies available in today's economy. Government auctions like the United States Marshal's Office, the United States Customs Sales, Internal Revenue Service, drug enforcement seizures, and other governmental auctions such as the GSA, bankruptcies, Department of Defense, police and sheriff sales, probate sales, tax sales, United States Postal Service auctions, SBA, VA, HUD, FHMA, and the RTC. There are over a dozen branches, departments, and agencies of our federal government, plus local government agencies and police departments, which conduct what we call opportunity auctions. Our students and business associates have found that at many of these auctions, for literally a few cents on the dollar, you can pick up some absolutely amazing buys. In today's auction market, drug seizures alone provide exotic cars, luxury yachts, and fast airplanes, including some of the fanciest and most expensive varieties. Items of conspicuous consumption which drug dealers take their pride in spending their excess wealth on. Sometimes they own them for a very short period of time before their excesses become very clear to governmental authorities. Once they're apprehended, the federal agents have the right to seize any and all of these items. They can put them on the auction block and sell them for a few cents on the dollar, which goes into Uncle Sam's pockets. So I say we should support these various anti-crime programs by providing the few cents on the dollar that these items can be bought for. We'll take a few cents out of our pockets, we'll have some fun, and do things that we enjoy and we'll make some money on, so that your dreams and financial goals will become reality. Most people don't even know about these auctions. Many, as you will see, are not even advertised. You need to start to take advantage of some of these incredible opportunities now. The next sale that I'm going to talk about is the mother, or you can call it the grandmother, of all sales. And guess what? She's 3 years old. This is the 1988 National Asset Seizure Forfeiture Act, NASAF, N-A-S-A-F. This sale is conducted by federal marshals. The Comprehensive Crime Control Act of 1984 gave the government the right not only to seize the assets and items used in the commission of a crime, but also the assets acquired with the proceeds of criminal activity. That act was followed by the 1988 NASAF Act. Does anybody here remember the first NASAF case in 1988? Does the term zero tolerance strike a bell? Okay. They found a piece of one marijuana cigarette on somebody's yacht, and they seized the entire yacht. The owner alleged that it had belonged to a departed passenger who was on the boat 2 weeks ago, and he didn't even know who it was. Did it help him? No way. There was $1.5 billion of such assets seized by the U.S. government in 1985. In 86, it had grown to $3.1 billion. In 87, $7 billion. But in 1988, when they passed the NASAF Act, whereby in drug seizures, they eliminated the loophole that if you had whatever given amount, however many bags, people were contending that they weren't really dealers. They were simply using it for personal use. And if they found any amount of drugs or controlled or illegal substances on your person, your car, your boat, your plane, they could not only seize your car, your boat, or your plane, but they could also seize your home or other assets or anything that had any relation or involvement with drugs, anything that had anything to do with it, or anything that had anything to do with you. In 1988, these seizures increased to $19.7 billion. In this type of auction alone, there are again thousands of sales in the U.S. every year. Within a 50-mile radius of here, between 125 or 175 of them. Ladies and gentlemen, it is impossible for anyone to attend even a small percentage of all the thousands of auctions. We want to share in the kind of profits that are available through these government auctions and through these programs. Another government program is the GSA. That's the General Services Administration. The reason that the GSA sells that stuff is the GSA is the agency of government that acquires just about everything that the government uses. How does the government sell the things at the kind of stuff that we've talked about, at the kind of prices that we've talked about, and we don't have a grassroots-led revolution over the fact that the government's basically giving this stuff away? That's our tax dollars. It's very simple. When the enabling legislation was passed, it was determined that they can only sell at fair market value. That's what the law says. Does everybody know what fair market value is? Okay. Fair market value is that amount at which a buyer will buy and a seller will sell. So the GSA has everything. They've got desks, they've got furniture, they've got Ollie North's secretary's paper shredder. Okay? They've got everything. So when people see that the GSA sells only at fair market value, they get scared off because it says fair market value. And they don't even attend the auctions. Imagine the possibilities. At an absolute auction, if no one shows up because there is no advertising or because they're scared off, but you are there and you pay X number of dollars, what did they sell it for? Fair market value. So they've complied with the law, and you got yourself a real bargain. There are hundreds of sales annually in this area where primarily personal property is being sold at sheriff's sales, for example. We have a gentleman who bought $50 trucks at a sheriff's sale. Trucks in Cincinnati for $50 each. A Cincinnati man who I'm extremely close with attended a Hamilton County sheriff's foreclosure sale. Hamilton County is Cincinnati, just sort of the way Duval County is Jacksonville. The auction consisted of 3 trucks filled with concrete forms. There's an assumption we make here. when the sheriff seizes 3 trucks filled with concrete forms on the job site at such and such a location, we assume those trucks got there under their own power and the man was using them to make a living. This gentleman went to this sale. He told me, I got there at 10 a.m. on time and was the only one there. I asked when the auction would begin and was told, oh, when more people show up, I guess. He said, no way. It was scheduled for 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. I'm here. We start now. Those are his rights. He bought them all for $150. I know what you're thinking. He overpaid. Okay? The only person holding you back is you. The United States Federal Marshal sales. Someone here, we were talking earlier about U.S. Marshal sales. There are legal notices posted. There are 2 basic types. Don't bother going to U.S. Marshal judgment sales. They are not necessarily good deals, because after all, the debtor or the owner had a judgment against him, and his personal property was not sufficient to raise the capital necessary to pay or to satisfy that judgment. So the creditor will usually bid on those items or on the entire estate. The second type, however, is a major drug seizure or criminal activity-related sale. Confiscated goods become available at auction when one of 3 things happens. Number 1, a conviction, and by that I mean the process of appeals has passed. Number 2, a plea bargain, and number 3, the defendant skips bail. There are difficulties and problems finding out about these real opportunity auctions. The good news is the U.S. Marshal is required to post notice of these sales in one or two public places. Anybody know where those places are? Post office? Anybody else? That's correct. A post office or a bulletin board at the federal courthouse. In the courthouse or the federal building or in the post office. You've seen them. Sure you have. What you've seen is a little thumbtack with a little corner of a torn piece of paper. How long do you think that notice stays up there on the bulletin board for people to see? I can tell you it usually gets ripped off within minutes. By whom? By someone who wants to be the only one at the auction. Thank you. Exactly right. Okay? There is a simple way to solve the problem. I'm not just giving you a hard time. You can stand there for 24 hours a day waiting to see when the notice is put up, and you can be the one who rips it off. Most of us don't find 24-hour-a-day guard duty appealing at the post office in the middle of the night. The other place, however, that the notice is posted is on the windshield of the cars in the storage lot or on the merchandise itself or equipment. So that's simple enough. All we have to do is climb over the barbed wire fence, chloroform the Doberman, break into the warehouse, and bribe the U.S. Marshal or the guards and check out the items. I think you get the idea. The U.S. Marshal sales are among the hardest to find out about and the hardest to check out. But they can be the most lucrative as well, and just for those reasons. In our literature, you will learn how to find exactly where these unadvertised sales are, and I'll tell you later how come we know about them. But our simplified success strategy will show you how to find out about United States Marshal sales, bankruptcy sales, and other unnoticed, unadvertised, and lightly attended government auctions, and how to get the information about them and how to profit from them. How many people like to travel? What's the problem with travel? Right. The only problem with travel is that it costs money. And when you spend that money, that's after-tax dollars. Everybody knows what I mean about after-tax dollars. Your paycheck is your net, so it costs you roughly 130% of your earnings, but not when you're in the auction business. These DoD sales, DRMO, Army Defense, there are military bases all over the country and overseas. And at military installations overseas, there's one very, very interesting thing. You and I, if you are an American citizen, can attend any one of these auctions at military bases overseas. Foreign nationals cannot. There are many, many other government organizations besides DoD which hold these opportunity auctions. The SBA, Small Business Administration, confiscates whole businesses such as laundromats or pizza parlors and sells them at public auctions if their loans are not paid. Let's look at this business pro forma as an example of a laundromat. Here is a business which is appraised a $265,000 laundromat selling for 10 cents on the dollar with 10% down, $2,600 down. The laundromat is now netting $7,000 per month after all expenses, including full-time management. Think of the possibilities. It takes 4 months to pay off the $26,500 and put $7,000 per month cash in the HIP National Bank every month. That's $84,000 per year net. Forever? How many here could squeeze by on $84,000 a year for the rest of your life without working? Am I right? Okay. So now you're asking yourself, how many government auctions are there? I mean, after all, how many of these things can there really be? Friends, I've got news for you. In addition to the 4,000 DEA and marshals and court-ordered sales, there are hundreds of U.S. bankruptcy sales alone every week right here in this area. How is it possible? How come you never hear about them? These things are not advertised in the newspapers. On the contrary, where is a bankruptcy sale held? Does anybody know? Bankruptcy sales are held generally in the trustee's office. Who are bankruptcy trustees? Generally, they are attorneys or businessmen who have become court-appointed bankruptcy trustees, and they usually hold the trustee sales right in their own offices. Well, who attends bankruptcy sales? They're not advertised, as I said before. On the contrary, the court does not produce any kind of catalog, listing, or mailing list. The bankruptcy trustee calls or notifies just the people involved, the creditors and the debtor, in the bankruptcy case, and those creditors and their attorneys, or usually just the attorneys, are the ones who show up at these little informal back office sales. How does an outsider like you or me, who doesn't know about these items or isn't a creditor, find out that there is such a trustee sale? If only the attorneys or creditors show up, are they going to divide up those assets among themselves? Is there going to be competitive bidding? Is the stuff going to go for a lot of money? No way. A Chapter 7 trustee is not required to respond to general inquiries about sales. Notices are mailed only to the debtor and the creditors. Section 363, Rule 2002 of the Federal Bankruptcy Code requires the court-appointed trustee to do only one thing, and I'm sure you've seen it. It is an ad, a legal notice, in the newspaper. It says notice to debtors and creditors. Most people are neither the debtor nor the creditor, so they don't even know to get involved, much less how to get involved. 91-21843 SMW Chapter 7 Finales Rebecca and Pedro 6107 Southwest 35 Court Miramar, Florida 33023 SS 1434419 W257971920 filed 052691 Attorney NA. Need to know any more? Notices of the actual sale are not posted or printed in the newspaper, just the notice of the case. When you see an advertisement in the newspaper saying bankruptcy sale to the highest bidder, auction and so forth, so on and so forth, usually what has happened, like in the case of Eastern Airlines, the creditors have gotten together and in an attempt to raise as much capital as possible to spread amongst themselves, they've hired a private auctioneer. That auctioneer is advertising the items to be sold at bankruptcy because he's going to get a commission. He sells the stuff after being taken from the bankrupt individual or the corporation. At this point, it's usually too late. For real bargains, you want to be involved with the trustee, not the private auctioneer. You can get personal property and real estate at a bankruptcy sale. All the debtors' luxury cars and personal possessions are on the block. Everything from china and silverware to airplanes, tools, and everything imaginable at incredible prices. The really good deals are in the trustee's office. So if you can get personal property and real estate at these bankruptcy sales, What's the trick? The trick, obviously, is to find out about them. We have well-developed techniques to locate these sales, and our partners here will use those techniques. There's many, many other types of government sales. A partner of ours purchased a dozen Kentucky Highway Patrol cars, which were sold at auction in various condition. He sold the cruisers to a wholesale auto dealer after a small amount of cleanup. You've got to take the insignia off the door and so on, okay? And he made big bucks. He reported to me it was pouring cats and dogs, and everyone except he and the auctioneer ran for cover. The next 12 cars he bought for $125 each. He resold 10 of them for $19,200, and the last 2 were scrapped. He sold them to a scrapyard, walking away with another $200 in his pocket. Total profit of $17,900. Not bad for a couple days' work. I'm proud to say this new Institute member works very, very closely with us, and he's doing very, very well. But it doesn't have to be a big deal like a Rolls-Royce or a Boeing 737. Obviously, those are some of the real exciting and attractive things that we like to dream about, and our dreams can become a reality. But a 17-year-old high school student told me that he went to one of these government auctions, U.S. Customs auctions. He bought 80 brand-name toaster ovens in their original cartons. $2.33 each is what he picked up the ovens for. That's what his bid came out to, $187. He was a successful bidder. Anybody have any idea why he got such a tremendous bargain? There were 3 people there, okay? But the other 2 people didn't want, need, or think they had a use for 80 toaster ovens. One in your home, one in your office, one in your car, one in your garage. What are you going to do with the other 76 toaster ovens, okay? He took them over to the local flea market on the following weekend. He knew that they were selling at local discounters and outlets for about $29 on sale. He turned around, he cut the price down by 50%, and he sold them for $15 each. He did it in 2 weekends. Because his price was right, he grossed $1,200, making $1,013 net cash profit. This is the kind of small, everyday type of opportunity. This is the kind of deal that anyone can afford. His total investment was $187. He slapped it down on the table, took them out, made cash money, and he continued to do small transactions like this one on an almost weekly basis. We've talked previously about drug seizures, and obviously they offer exciting opportunities. And the U.S. Customs auctions are very, very similar. Everybody knows what the U.S. Customs does? Would you believe that some people actually fail to declare imported items? Or fail to pay taxes and duties on items they bring into the country? What about things that are smuggled in or confiscated? The United States Customs auctions, you'll find cameras, bags, watches, jewelry, electronics, whole container loads of consumer goods and almost anything and everything you can think of, including just about everything made in Japan by Sony, Hitachi, Mitsubishi, and names that we haven't learned to pronounce yet. These items can be obtained for pennies on the dollar and resold, again, at flea markets or to wholesalers, retailers, jobbers, all sorts of outlets with whom we at the Institute have ongoing business relationships. That's U.S. Customs. Willie Nelson and Red Fox are not the only famous entertainers who have internal revenue problems. James Brown, soul singer James Brown, had his South Carolina Beach Island estate sold at public auction for $9,500. His 40-acre ranch with 3,500 square foot vacation home, swimming pool, bathhouse, 2-car garage, kennels, and other buildings was appraised for tax purposes at $122,700. It went for 13 cents on the dollar because there were only 2 bidders there. Dallas was one of 2 bidders who showed up at the auction at the Aiken County Courthouse, Quinn said. A handful of people watched, he said. Brown did not attend. In addition, his Lincoln Continental, Mercedes-Benz, custom van, furniture, silver, and television sets went for only $17,500. Think about that opportunity that we all missed. Because of increasing drug seizures, that's internal revenue. Because of increasing drug seizures, you'll find available through drug busts, DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, and marshal sales, custom vans, sports cars, luxury automobiles. Just to give you an example, we have auto dealers who unbelievably don't attend these auctions. and yet they will pay what they call wholesale or bank loan value, but what we consider top dollar for some of these luxury cars, sports cars, custom vans, and limousines. $20 VCRs, $60 computers, $10 fishing trawlers, a shopper's dream, but a taxpayer's nightmare. Mark Lewis strode into a U.S. Marshals Service auction and bid $10 on a 65-foot fishing boat seized from drug smugglers. $10 going once, the auctioneer prodded 25 silent bidders. $10 going twice, nobody stirred. Sold for $10. Last summer, Lewis fished off the coast of New England with a trawler, appraised at $50,000. At thousands of such auctions each year, the government flushes out warehouses full of surplus and seized goods. Computers go for as little as $60, VCRs for $20, office swivel chairs for $3. The government collects millions each year, but it should take in millions more. The IRS, the United States Postal Service, and federal bank insurers all contribute to the auction steals. The drug war has spiced the auction booty with its own exotic bargains. U.S. Marshals Service and Customs warehouses are swollen with more than $1 billion worth of seized cars, yachts, fur coats, diamonds, paintings, Rolex watches, portable phones, and other trappings of the drug trade. Yet at auctions, Customs merchandise sells at prices far below its appraised value. At an auction in Jersey City, one bidder paid $1,200 for 960 pair of earrings, 402 necklaces, 1,500 watch bands, 100 pair of sunglasses, and 40 watches.
Now that you know who these agencies are, turn to the back of Volume 1 from your workbooks, Chapter 1 through 13. Turn to the back of Volume 1 to find out where some of these are located, but it gets even better. I can show you how to make even more incredible deals using my money in your spare time. Watch closely.
This is The Good Life. We invite you to join with us over the next few minutes and learn how you can become independently wealthy using a few well-tested, proven techniques, which will put you on the road to achieving your financial independence. It takes little or no money, requires no credit, and anyone can do it in their spare time. Just a few hours a month, that's all it takes. Stay tuned. Learn how to profit at U.S. government auctions of cars, boats, planes, jewelry, electronics, and other valuable personal property and real estate. And you can start right away.
Everyone comes to a point in their life where they either keep going down the same path they've always gone on, or they choose a new path, which can improve their way of life. They can continue, of course, on making the same amount of money that they've made month after month, or they can do something different. That's what I'm trying to offer you here today. You can invest just a little bit of money and a little bit of time and make much more money in the months to come than you've ever done with my system. When you find out how easy it is to use my system, you'll wish you heard about it months ago. When you receive my course, this is what you're going to receive. This is the government auction package. It's very, very simple. This is the easiest method that you could ever find to make a lot of money to get you out of the situation you're in right now. You can start buying beautiful cars like myself. I got a Lamborghini Diablo through this government auction package. I got a Rolls-Royce Corniche through this government auction package. What that does for me is this. It shows me freedom. It gives me an opportunity to purchase these things at little advertised government auctions. I got with Mr. Steve Steiner. We worked together on this, and what we did was we came up with the smallest places where only a few people are at. Of course, anybody says an auction, you think of hundreds of people showing up. I'm talking about taking you to an auction where you see 3 people. How are you going to like that? And we're going to get wonderful, wonderful items at that auction. You're going to be able to pick up some fantastic things for pennies on the dollar, but only when you learn what I've learned, which has taken years and years of Mr. Steiner's time to perfect these methods. And he has taught them to me and showed me to get beautiful things, and now I'm trying to teach you how you can better your life. But not only am I going to better your life, I'm going to do something more importantly than that. I'm going to back you up. And in this agreement, it shows that I'm going to be there 100% to back you up. It shows in writing my name and your name. We're on a contract. When you find these deals, you fill out the contract, you send it to me, you got my signature, which means I am bound to you for my money to do the deal. And a lot of times we have to send our money around the country before the sales even take place. How would you like that? You get a $50,000 check from me before the sale even takes place. You know I'm going to be there behind you. But to be able to do that, I need a commitment from you. I'm going to charge you one low fee for this course, but I'm telling you, it's going to change your life, and you've got my money behind you to guarantee it. It's not enough to know who these agencies are and where to find them. You have to know the right way to buy. Every successful bidder has a special strategy. Steve is now going to share with us some successful techniques to make incredible money. That is so simple, anyone can put together a winning deal.
Our students are very, very successful.
Steve Sands, ex-janitor, offered $8,500 profit in one day.
You know what's so great about these government auctions? I attended a drug seizure sale, bought a 300 SD Mercedes, paid $1,500 for it. A dealer offered me $10,000 for it. I turned him down.
What's the first thing you look for? Number one, write this down. Absolute auction. I want you to write it down. If you haven't written anything down today, write that. Absolute auction. An absolute auction means that what is on the auction block will be sold to the highest bidder regardless of the bid. If it's not an absolute auction, the seller can withdraw the item if the highest bid is deemed insufficient. That's what is called a reserve or confirmation auction. An absolute auction means that if the bid is $1, then it goes for $1. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me, especially if it's a Jaguar XJ12 or a Piper Cub. By the way, most government auctions are absolute auctions, but that's only one of the reasons why we like government auctions. One of the other reasons is that government auctions are honest. There are no shills or phony or illegitimate bids, and I'll talk more about that later. Do we go to an auction just to see what's there and start bidding on it? I don't recommend it. We want to preview the merchandise. Most auctions provide a period of time, 3 or 4 days, a week, or 10 days, where the merchandise or item can be examined in advance of the actual auction. Our literature, which will be available to you, explains that in detail. Because before we go to the actual auction, we want to preview the merchandise and evaluate the merchandise and know the market conditions and know the value, number 3, in advance of the auction, prior to buying or bidding on any of the items in the auction. What do we want to buy? You'll learn what to buy, whether it should be electronics, computers, calculators, videos, cars, boats, planes, tools, office equipment, whatever, and you'll learn to roll it over for quick cash profits to a ready market. There will be at least a few experts at most auction. An expert, for example, who knows only about cars or only about boats or about diamonds. That's another reason why not everybody at the auction is bidding on every item. We're going to focus when we go to an auction on a select number of specific items. The fact that there may be 40 items available at that auction does not mean that we want to bid on 40 items, unless you're the only one there and you have $40 in your pocket. We want to look carefully at only certain items and then concentrate only on those items. Do you want to go to our very first auction and start bidding or start buying things without any experience at all? I do not recommend that. Go to 1, 2, or 3 auctions or more auctions. Observe, learn, see the kind of things that are going on. Become familiar with the rules of the auction, the type of bidding, the type of people that are there, the procedures that are followed, and the type of merchandise that's being auctioned. You will profit greatly by that experience, and in the future, what we feel we've missed out on the first time around, that will come back to us many, many times over. Who knows what a knockdown sheet is? Okay. A knockdown sheet is a list. Generally, no one knows. A knockdown sheet is a list of what was sold and how much things sold for at previous auctions. You'll learn how these sheets of prior auctions will be invaluable to you later, because you need to know what type of things get sold, what they went for. The 1/3 rule. Now we have to place a limit on how much we will bid. It should be a percentage of the amount we plan to sell it at, what we plan to sell it at. You must learn the meaning and the discipline of the 1/3 rule. Otherwise, you can get yourself in trouble. You have to know what you're going to sell at and place a limit on what you're going to bid. Don't start the bidding. He who speaks first loses. Wait to see who else is there and what they bid. If we think we can acquire something for $200, we're not going to go in and start bidding $200. It may be that someone bids $25, we bid $30, and they drop out. Oh, I'm not going to get in bidding war with that guy. There's plenty of other things here. And you get it for $30. So you never know how little you're going to pay for something. let someone else start the bidding, unless you're the only one there, and then bid $1, okay? Remember, while you have set a maximum bid, most times when you are the successful bidder, you will obtain the item for less than your planned bid. But our simplified success strategy will show you how to find out about United States Marshal sales, bankruptcy sales, and other unnoticed, unadvertised, and lightly attended government auctions, and how to get the information about them and how to profit from them. Here's another example about how to find an auction. It is a legal notice in the newspaper called Notice of Seizure. One word throws you off. It doesn't say Notice of Sale. It says Notice of Seizure. If you read further in the small print, and ladies and gentlemen, this is small print. I'll give you a minute. You can write it all down. It goes on to say, and you'll be tested later, it goes on to say if you have any interest in these items, contact so-and-so. Guess what, folks? Most people don't think they have an interest in the items, and everyone ignores it. They don't realize that interest doesn't mean a prior interest. We had a gentleman who went to DOD sales. There was office equipment, and it went for 12 cents on the dollar. How many people here would like to buy ATs, PCs, or 386s, home computers, IBM Selectrics, or expensive office equipment for 12 cents on the dollar? Not a bad deal. Listen to this story about a young lady who wears army boots. A young lady went to one of these auctions and bid $5,000 on a container load of army boots. And guess what else? No laces. She had to get laces for every pair. 3 dozen gross pairs of assorted sized army boots. That's 5,184 pair. It's less than $1 a pair. She didn't have the $5,000. She didn't have the 10% deposit. She got a money partner who gave her only 25% of the profits when the boots sold for $7.55 a pair wholesale. The laces cost 76 cents, and I agree she overpaid for laces. But the boots sold for over $39,000. She made just over $7,500. Great money, right? Wrong. Had she followed our simple techniques, she would have made 35, 50, or even 100% of the profits. Because in DOD sales, there is such a thing as a bid deposit bond. A bid deposit bond. It gives you 30 days to pay, which is enough time to make your profit and pay for what you bought. You can use the government's money to pay, make profit, and pay them back out of the profits and monies you make, and we show you exactly how to do it. Remember the young lady with army boots? If she had been a Girl Scout and she was properly prepared, she would have made the whole $30,000 profit instead of only $7,500. Are you going to be properly prepared?
This is so exciting. Once you know the techniques on how to purchase, then you can start making real money. And the best part is, you don't have to spend a dime. I can show you how to make unbelievable deals using my money.
This is The Good Life. We invite you to join with us over the next few minutes and learn how you can become independently wealthy using a few well-tested, proven techniques, which will put you on the road to achieving your financial independence. It takes little or no money, requires no credit, and anyone can do it in their spare time. Just a few hours a month, that's all it takes. Stay tuned. Learn how to profit at U.S. government auctions of cars, boats, planes, jewelry, electronics, and other valuable personal property and real estate. And you can start right away.
Everyone comes to a point in their life where they either keep going down the same path they've always gone on, or they choose a new path, which can improve their way of life. They can continue, of course, on making the same amount of money that they've made month after month, or they can do something different. That's what I'm trying to offer you here today. You can invest just a little bit of money and a little bit of time and make much more money in the months to come than you've ever done with my system. When you find out how easy it is to use my system, you'll wish you heard about it months ago. When you receive my course, this is what you're going to receive. This is the government auction package. It's very, very simple. This is the easiest method that you could ever find to make a lot of money to get you out of the situation you're in right now. You can start buying beautiful cars like myself. I got a Lamborghini Diablo through this government auction package. I got a Rolls-Royce Corniche through this government auction package. What that does for me is this. It shows me freedom. It gives me an opportunity to purchase these things at little advertised government auctions. I got with Mr. Steve Steiner. We worked together on this, and what we did was we came up with the smallest places where only a few people are at. Of course, anybody says an auction, you think of hundreds of people showing up. I'm talking about taking you to an auction where you see 3 people. How are you going to like that? And we're going to get wonderful, wonderful items at that auction. You're going to be able to pick up some fantastic things for pennies on the dollar, but only when you learn what I've learned, which has taken years and years of Mr. Steiner's time to perfect these methods. And he has taught them to me and showed me to get beautiful things, and now I'm trying to teach you how you can do better your life. But not only am I going to better your life, I'm going to do something more importantly than that. I'm going to back you up. And in this agreement, it shows that I'm going to be there 100% to back you up. It shows in writing my name and your name. We're on a contract. When you find these deals, you fill out the contract, you send it to me, you got my signature, which means I am bound to you for my money to do the deal. And a lot of times we have to send our money around the country before the sales even take place. How would you like that? You get a $50,000 check from me before the sale even takes place. You know I'm going to be there behind you. But to be able to do that, I need a commitment from you. I'm going to charge you one low fee for this course, but I'm telling you, it's going to change your life, and you've got my money behind you to guarantee it.
Cars, boats, planes, jewelry, and more for pennies on the dollar at little advertised government auctions in your area. Hal William and Chantel personally invest in your success by letting you buy high-ticket items using their money. No program offered on TV and no other seminar taught in America gives you this proven money-making information.
I know you're ready to go out and buy and make some money. You know where to buy, how to buy. All you need to know is where you're going to get the money to buy. Let's go back to Steve and find out how you can make other people's money your money and make you wealthy beyond your wildest dreams.
Let's talk turkey. How do you get the money you need to back you up once you have the successful bid? Do you go to your wealthy relatives? How many people here have a wealthy relative that they can get all the money you want from? Let me see your hands. I'll talk to you later, sir. Okay. Most of you don't, and I didn't think you would. Do you find an investor to finance you? How about your doctor, your attorney, friends, neighbors, business associates? Using their money, you can buy and sell various items. There are 2 successful techniques. Using OPM, other people's money, that's one of them. We buy and sell, and we make a profit with other people's money. But we have to have our financing in place. Then when we go to the auction, we can bid with confidence, knowing that when we are the successful bidder on that bargain that we've been looking for, we've got the financial resources necessary to acquire that item. Our Partnership Profits program is a profit-sharing agreement, which we both sign, and I'll put it right up here on the screen. In number 1, in the joint venture auction agreement, after consulting with us, you list the auction, the location, and the date. In number 2, you select the items to bid out of the catalog. And in number 3, in most cases, you put 10% deposit down, we put up the rest, handle the resale through our sources unless you already have an acceptable buyer. And the most important part, folks, right down here, we split the profits 50-50. On page A12 of our workbook, you will find this agreement in writing in its entirety. We authorize you to bid on our behalf at these auctions. It's an unlimited line of credit, folks. All you have to do is go, and we'll make money together. You can do it deal by deal, you can do it deal after deal, or you can go and buy these items yourself and take all the profits. You can't beat that with a stick. What if I don't have the 10%, you say to yourself? It could be a big ticket item. What if it's an airplane, a car, or a boat, and say the 10% is $1,000, and you don't have the $1,000 at the moment? We'll look at every one of these opportunities, and we'll tell you what to bid. If it's good enough, we'll come up with the 100% of the money. You get 35% of the profit. All you have to do is go. And go anywhere for these auctions. I don't care. Hawaii, Berlin, Panama, San Francisco, don't go to Baghdad. Okay? Or right here. I want to see you making 10 or 15 times what you make on your 9-to-5 job. If we teach enough people in each city in the country, and then those people go out and attend the auctions, they attend the auctions, we put up 90% of the money, we can resell and split the profits 50-50 is the answer to your question. Right down the middle, with our trained partners all over the country. We make an enormous amount of money together through the Partnership Profits Program. We need partners right here who will go out and attend these auctions, purchasing these items and getting rich doing it.
I know you're excited about getting started making this money. You'll be even more excited when I show you that a limited few of you can become my partner, which is a fantastic deal. This is the smartest investment you've ever made. Once you make a deal with me, it's like a cookie cutter. You can do it over and over and over again, raking in the cash. But you have to get moving because I'm only looking for a few people, few motivated people, hardworking people in your area. This program gives you the knowledge to make profitable deals, and I'm willing to be behind you 100%. All you need is my money, and I'm willing to do that for you. When you become my partner, you're going to have my staff working around the clock to help you complete these deals. All of these money-making deals, but time is running out. So don't miss this opportunity of a lifetime to change your life. In fact, before you rewind this tape, go to the phone right now and call. Remember, I'm only going to work with a limited few of people in your area, so call right now.
This is The Good Life. We invite you to join with us over the next few minutes and learn how you can become independently wealthy using a few well-tested, proven techniques, which will put you on the road to achieving your financial independence. It takes little or no money, requires no credit, and anyone can do it in their spare time. Just a few hours a month, that's all it takes. Stay tuned. Learn how to profit at U.S. government auctions of cars, boats, planes, jewelry, electronics, and other valuable personal property and real estate. And you can start right away.
Everyone comes to a point in their life where they either keep going down the same path they've always gone on, or they choose a new path, which can improve their way of life. They can continue, of course, on making the same amount of money that they've made month after month, or they can do something different. That's what I'm trying to offer you here today. You can invest just a little bit of money and a little bit of time and make much more money in the months to come than you've ever done with my system. When you find out how easy it is to use my system, you'll wish you heard about it months ago. When you receive my course, this is what you're going to receive. This is the government auction package. It's very, very simple. This is the easiest method that you could ever find to make a lot of money to get you out of the situation you're in right now. You can start buying beautiful cars like myself. I got a Lamborghini Diablo through this government auction package. I got a Rolls-Royce Corniche through this government auction package. What that does for me is this. It shows me freedom. It gives me an opportunity to purchase these things at little advertised government auctions. I got with Mr. Steve Steiner. We worked together on this, and what we did was we came up with the smallest places where only a few people are at. Of course, anybody says an auction, you think of hundreds of people showing up. I'm talking about taking you to an auction where you see 3 people. How are you going to like that? And we're going to get wonderful, wonderful items at that auction. You're going to be able to pick up some fantastic things for pennies on the dollar, but only when you learn what I've learned, which has taken years and years of Mr. Steiner's time to perfect these methods. And he has taught them to me and showed me to get beautiful things, and now I'm trying to teach you how you can better your life. But not only am I going to better your life, I'm going to do something more importantly than that. I'm going to back you up. And in this agreement, it shows that I'm going to be there 100% to back you up. It shows in writing my name and your name. We're on a contract. When you find these deals, you fill out the contract, you send it to me, you got my signature, which means I am bound to you for my money to do the deal. And a lot of times we have to send our money around the country before the sales even take place. How would you like that? You get a $50,000 check from me before the sale even takes place. You know I'm going to be there behind you. But to be able to do that, I need a commitment from you. I'm going to charge you one low fee for this course, but I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. And you've got my money behind you to guarantee it. This is the time for you to take action. I need you to pick up the phone and order my course. It's going to change your life. Now is the time for you to start getting out of the situation you're in right now. So you have a little bit of money saved up. You've got a little nice house, you got a nice car. I want you to drive exotic cars, have beautiful houses, and a lot of money to take a vacation whenever you want one. Take it from me. I'm telling you, when you go to these government auctions, you'll find items for yourself you're going to love. And not only that, you're going to be able to sell these items and make a huge profit for you and me. And then we'll be able to vacation together if you want to. I look forward to personally talking to you soon because I'm going to be in your town. As soon as you find this deal, I'm going to be in your town. We're going to film it, and I'm going to have dinner at your house. I can't wait to meet with you. And I want to thank you for watching this videotape, and I'll talk to you later on.